Now we will go with Stockholm Declaration and Rio Declaration. The question in this may be the outcome of Stockholm Declaration and the Rio Declaration with regard to protection and improvement of environment. Stockholm Declaration, it was the first international conference which was held in Stockholm in 1972 under the auspices of United Nations Environment Program. Human environment, sorry, that is what is called as United Nations Human Environment, UNHG. It was the landmark conference which made the world community for the first time with regard to the negative environment, and that is the environment pollutions. For that, it was participated by 116 countries. That is, the object is to take actions at the national level, regional and international level to prevent and to eliminate the destruction of human environment and to protect and to improve the natural surroundings. For that, it laid down that is 26 principles. Under that 26 principles, these are considered as the common principles for the prevention and it is pollution of environment. And the some of the few principles will go and we'll go to discuss with this. These principles were helped in preservation and enhancement of human environment. Principle 1 of this Stockholm Declaration is relating to that. It is the responsibility of the states to protect and improve the environment for not only present situations but also for the future generations. Regard to this, or towards this end, policies are to be taken which promote the apartheid or any other that is policies with regarding to that is segregation of race, discrimination or any form of oppression like colonial or domination by other states are to be eliminated. First one, it is the responsibility to protect and to improve the environment not only for the present generation but also for the future generation. One. Second, the natural resources of the earth like air, water, soil or that is flora and fauna, these are the representatives of the nature and thereby causing that is this imbalance or what is called as eco balance which is affected. For that, these are to be safeguarded for the benefit of the present and future generations, and this is to be obtained or to be achieved through making careful plannings and to be managed according to the capacity of the earth's production of earth's that is states planning. Second, that is natural resources are to be safeguarded for the benefit of the present and for the future generations through careful plannings and management. Second, the third principle is that is a renewable resources which are available in the form of natural resources are to be maintained and to be restored. For example, living organisms, that is the solar energy, like that these are to be maintained and to be restored, not to be exhausted at the present generations. Then that is there is a responsibility of man to safeguard and to manage the heritage of wildlife and its habitat. It is the obligation of the states as well as the individuals to protect or to manage the wild animals or the heritage of that is on wildlife and its habitat. Next one, non-renewable resources of the earth are to be safeguarded against exhaustion of those such resources, and those resources are to be shared to all mankind. That is, whatever that is non-renewable, which cannot be renewable, those resources are to be managed for the future generation also. It is not to be completely exhausted in this generation, and because it is belong to the man as a whole, or what is called as common heritage of mankind, or it is the natural gift that is to be passed out to the future generations. Next, that is, states has to take all possible measures to prevent marine pollution, or what is called as pollution of sea, which causes hazardous not only to the human beings but also marine life. To that extent, that is, the states has to take certain preventive measures. Then under principle 21 of the Stockholm Declaration is the most important principle here. According to this, the states have the sovereign right to exploit their own resources pursuant to their own environmental policies, and the responsibility to ensure that the activities within the jurisdiction are not to cause damage to the environment of other states or the areas beyond of the that is limits of national jurisdiction. That's a principle 21 says that every state has the sovereign right. It is independent right to exploit or to make use of that natural resources which are available in that state according to their own environmental policies, and the responsibility of the state, that is, whatever the activities which are taken place within the territory, that should not cause that is any injury to the neighboring territory or beyond its national jurisdiction. Then that is the principle 22 says that states should cooperate and to develop international law regarding liability and compensation for the victims of pollution. That is, the states, they have to cooperate and to make that is compensation for the persons who are victimized by this pollution. Then that is, the protection and improvement of environment should be handled in cooperation through the bilateral or multilateral treaties or arrangements in order to prevent, reduce and to eliminate that is adverse environmental effects on the earth. These are the few important principles with regarding to Stockholm Declaration. Next we'll go with Rio Declaration. After 20 years of this Stockholm Declaration, again the second that is important conference which was held in 1992, it is called as Rio Declaration, or what is called as Earth Summit, under the auspices of the United Nations Conference on Environment and Development. This was adopted certain international documents along with these 27 principles. That is, one is the Agenda 21. It is a blueprint. It is a blueprint of this that is the principles to bring into action, or what is called as to execute those principles. It is in the form of blueprint. What are the actions to be taken? And the second one is that is the 27 principles which were laid down in this convention. With regarding to forest principles, certain declarations were made, and also climate change convention. This is what is called as Framework Convention on Climate Change, or what is now popularly called as global warming, and desertification, and Convention on Biological Diversity, which were laid down in 1992. Along with this, that is this convention or this conference which laid down 27 principles. Under that is principle 2 of this Rio Declaration deals with, there is a principle 21 of the Stockholm Declaration. That is every state has the right to right to develop and to be fulfilled according to the means of present and future generations. They have the right to development in order to fulfill those fulfill development according to the needs of the present and future generations. And also it is saying that each state has the right to make use of the natural resources in accordance with their environmental policies and not to cause any injury to the neighboring territories. Then that is principle 5. It says that states to cooperate in eradicating poverty. That is, the states of the international law are to cooperate in eradicating poverty. Then principle 7 says that states to cooperate in a spirit of global partnership to conserve, to protect and to restore the earth's ecosystem or ecological balance. That is, with regard to the different contributions to global environmental degradation have common but differential responsibilities. Means here the states has to cooperate in the spirit of global partnership. Means they have certain common that is benefits, at the same time they have differential responsibilities with regarding to the environment pollution. They have to cooperate in that way. For example, it is reduction of chlorofluorocarbons. That is the conventions which were held in it is called as Kyoto Protocol or Vienna Convention or hazardous movements. Like this, that is Johannesburg. In these conventions, it is that is the state parties who are concluded in this. They have taken steps in order to reduce that is CFCs or what is called as chlorofluorocarbons or carbons in a different manners or different that is responsibilities. Then principle 13 says that states to develop national law regarding liability and compensation for the victims of pollution and other environmental damages. That is, in international law, the states has to develop certain national laws with regarding to liability and compensation for the victims of pollutants. For example, we already know that the same principle which was that is applied in Bhopal gas tragedy or what is in Oleum gas tragedies. Like this, these are the principles of which is laid down in 1992. Then more important principle with regarding to this here, that is precautionary principle. This precautionary principle was laid down in sustainable development. There is one of the principle also which is laid down in the Rio Declaration. Later we will go with in detail what are the features of the sustainable development, but here only we are discussing with the 27 principles of this Rio Declaration or what is called as outcome of Rio Declaration. According to this principles 15 deals with precautionary principle. Precautionary principle is to be applied by the states according to their capacity. Means whenever there are threats of serious or irreversible damage or lack of scientific that is certainty, that shall not be used as a reason for postponing the measures to prevent environmental degradation. That is precautionary principle. That is, the states has to anticipate to see before that any injury caused to the earth. That is to be taken into care by the states. That the state should not take as a means or as a what is called as a means to escape the liability. Principle 16 is also deals with what is called as polluter pays principle. It is also laid down under sustainable development. The polluter pays principle in that the polluter, the person who has polluted, should bear the cost of the pollution in the interest of the public. That is, that cost of that pollution is to be internalized in the products. That is what is called as polluter pays principle. Again, this polluter pays principle and precautionary principle was laid down in Vellore Citizen Welfare Forum, a legal action. In that case, it is also laid down. Then principle 22. Under that, The indigenous people means the local peoples and their that is communities and other local communities have vital role in environmental management and development because they have their traditional knowledge which was laid down again in Biodiversity Act. It is called as that is benefit sharing as well as traditional that is traditional practices. That is here, that is the indigenous peoples or means that is the local peoples who are having the traditional knowledge about those biodiversity. They those are to be managed that environment and to be developed. Next principle is that 23 principle. That is the environment and natural resources of the peoples whenever they are under oppression or domination or occupation should be protected. Whenever there is the natural resources are under oppression or dominated, those are to be protected for the future generation. Next to principle 26. It gives that the states to resolve all their environmental disputes peacefully and by appropriate means in accordance with the Charter of United Nations. You already know that that is Charter of United Nations under Article 33. It laid down that is if any international disputes are to be resolved through the peaceful means like arbitration, mediation, judicial settlement, etc. Then principle 27 says that states and people should cooperate in good faith and in a spirit of partnership with regard to sustainable development. What is meant by sustainable development? Sustainable development means that is protection and preservation of environment, not only for the present generation but also for the future generations. That is whatever natural resources which are available, those are not to be completely exhausted in this generation, that is to be passed over to the next generation or future generation, because these natural resources which are available, these are the that is a gift of the nature. For that that is no person has the right to completely to make use of that is to be contributed to the future generation. In that way, that is principle 21 states that the states and the people should cooperate in good faith and in spirit of partnership with regarding to sustainable development. In the next class, we will discuss what is sustainable development and what are the principles of sustainable development. This is what is called as the outcome of Stockholm Declaration 1972 and Rio Declaration of 1992.